knead and laminated at the things heard. I scatter the signs and no longer act, but by signals transmitted from one extreme to another of my equipment, of my large tentacular station, beginning with which I measure in real time the speeds of the motion of all worlds together, their indefinite expansion originating from a chaos of particles in reciprocal actions. Across the community of propagation, the network of conductors, the chairs and dischairs of their attentions, I cause an unheard of increase in the frequency of exchanges and connection. Here, I am myself in an impeccable and self-transparent presence, void of sense, pure truth, finally capable of vanishing into its own manifestation. The bell speaks. The bumblebee. He does not feel how the signs insist around him. He does not perceive their sliding. He does not hear their hisses. He does not guess how they touch each other in passing. One does not get rid of their intrigues like that. They knot nets, they lay cables in the void, they warp, they wave, they tie and untie. He himself, when he speaks, does he not hear himself? Is he not the first one to receive, in the echo of his own voice, under his skull, the trace of another voice that dispatched itself inside his own from further away, from further ahead? Yes, he hears that. He hears within his quick and muffled world breathing coming from a very ancient world full of slowness and of din. He cannot bring it about that he merges with the thing, because the things themselves do not merge among themselves, and their principle more ancient than any principle, their reason before all reason, so far withdrawn into the ages of the world that its backward motion is painful to consider, their primordial reason deprived of reason has no other energy than that of a constantly resumed separation, whose origin is itself separated from itself, open orifice, gap, and béance of the places from where births come forth and descends and outgrowth. That he is separated so as to prove himself withdrawn from all things, that is how the world lets itself be felt, opens itself to his feeling. Within his breast, alas, two souls come apart, distinguish and tear themselves by pulling too hard on their thin skins. But he, poor man, there he takes this tension between his two souls for a division and an expulsion of sense, for a liquidation and a annihilation. He is right and he is not. I move without stopping between the two, between himself and himself. He is right to refuse the separation. He is wrong not to accept it. We are separated, and sense is made from our separation. We are separated into rocks and fishes, into forests and clouds, into wolves and citizens, into an I and a you, into man and woman, into seeing and hearing. We are separated. This makes sense, which is to say a distance insurmountable and fragile, a carrier of itself and of nothing else, but a carrier, yes, an open door for our entertainment. Faust 8. I wanted the world no longer to be as silent as it has become and has been for a long time now. I wanted that the world speak, and that for this purpose a truly speaking word deposit its power in the hollow of the things themselves. I wanted a silence overcome with passion for the immediacy of our acts, of our calculation, of our prodigious operation. I wanted language to give way to an ineffable astonishment and to insane transformation, revolution. Yes, the insane never ceased to guide me, and yet how could the insane help one find one's bearings? I cannot guide, but it makes you lose your way conscientiously and obstinately. Yes, the insane is none other than the twin brother of everything that demands a reason and a final cause, a justification, a redemption. How difficult it is to distinguish them. How impossible it is to separate by a clean cut the instant that congeals and the instant that passes, the one that holds itself back and the one that offers itself. How improbable it is to sort out sense and nonsense, sign and touch, word and silence. To you, burnt books